So I am not at home right now. I'm nowhere near anything that you would call a restaurant as you have come to know it. I'm going to be eating things like this for the next few days. So I thought I might take the opportunity to talk about something a little bit different for a minute, but I guess I'm still going to talk about the food. But I guess in one way you could say that I am home. I remember one flight that I took in my life more clearly than any other flight I've ever taken in my life for a couple of different reasons. The first is that I remember opening up a magazine to see that there was a new cartoon called Family Guy that was following a family called the Griffins, and the dog was named Brian Griffin. That's my name. And when you're 12, that seems like it's pretty cool. I didn't really think much of it. I just opened up the Sky Mall and looked at putting greens for your toilet or whatever and moved on with my life. But what I didn't know is that Seth MacFarlane had changed my life forever. He'd made it so that nobody would ever forget my name. Because if you Google Brian Griffin, all you're gonna see is pictures of a cartoon dog that loves gin rather than a 36-year-old narcissist who also loves gin. But the old name for the channel was for something different. It was supposed to be a strictly local podcast, talking to interesting people where we live, doing interesting things. But then food sort of took over the channel to the point where if I sat down for an hour-long interview with a guy running for treasurer in Pasco, Washington, it would seem a little out of place. So I thought about different names for a while, and I decided to just name it after myself. And that might be a bad thing for the channel because, again, there's already a very famous Brian Griffin, but I couldn't really help myself because, again, narcissist. But the second reason I remember that flight so clearly is because I was leaving somewhere that I had been for a while that was and is important to me. Just the sandwich, please. Thank you. This is Philmont Scout Ranch in northern New Mexico. It's a Boy Scout ranch where people come from all over the world to take 100-mile treks through the mountains. But it's also a working ranch where they have cattle and bison, and I saw so many antelope on the way in here that I don't care about antelope anymore. And it is an incredible place, but it was a little bit of a difficult place to grow up for me. The closest grocery store is like 4 miles away, and it's so remote that the milk would expire in like 6 days because it took it so long to get there. And the closest McDonald's is like 45 minutes away, and to some people that might sound like an excellent thing when you're getting all of this, but when you're 11, you kind of just want to go to the mall and eat chicken McNuggets. But here, I mean, you're out of luck. You're gonna hike again, and you gotta hike. Where I'm sitting right now is the front patio of the guy who donated this land to the Boy Scouts of America. He's the dude who started Phillips 66 gas stations. And I definitely left my mark on this place in several ways when I was little. There's a little duck and frog fountain right over there. The head of the duck is still kind of broken off and like glued back on, and I did that. My brother says I did it while I was naked, but I remember it a little bit differently. Honestly, I don't think it matters how good this sandwich tastes. I mean, you saw it. It's a meal that's designed to feed hundreds of people 3 times a day out of warning trays. So on the other hand, it's here, 96. Because I can't separate my emotions and my childhood and everything that comes along with that from my opinion. If you asked me in a vacuum whether I wanted to try the best steak in the world, or if I wanted to just try one thing that made me feel like I was 11 again, how can you compare that to anything? I love this place.